Coming up on Up at Noon, Marvel Heroes. How do we become one? We will find that out. We got to kill stuff with a real-life flame-throwing Fallout sword, and Pikachu's a detective. What's up with that? All that and more right now on Up at Noon Live. Hey everyone, this is Up at Noon Live again.
Ooh, sorry, you caught me doing jazz fingers all in the air. Hot fingers in the sky.
They cannot stop. This show happens every week.
Invisible piano.
Keeps happening. Hey,
Guitar.
everybody. Welcome back to Up at Noon Live.
Drums.
I'm Max Scoville on the drums. Brian Altano.
What's up, guys? How are you doing today?
Yeah.
And ladies, especially you ladies.
I don't know if you guys are watching this. It is noon on a Thursday, which is like, we looked at people's schedules and we figured this was the most inconvenient time for most people with jobs.
Exactly.
And we didn't want them to see us being shameful and weird. So that's when we're live. If you're watching this on live, you want to catch us another time, whatever. I don't know how we segue into this ever. I'm always bad at it. You watch us on IGN.com. You watch us on IGN PS4, Xbox One apps. We're also on Roku, Twitch, on YouTube. If you want to tweet at us, that's probably the best way to get our attention because we're hip with social media.
Oh, yeah.
Generation Z.
I love smartphones and my beepers.
Yeah. We just use the hashtag Up at Noon. That's what we keep track of.
Yeah.
We'd like to thank our sponsor this week, which is totally a real sponsor and not a Photoshop that Brian did. We're brought to you by pizza, which does not have pineapples, ham, or anchovies because it's actually pizza, not just some weird flat monstrosity.
Yeah, not some dessert garbage you're trying to make or some like weird fruit pie. Get out of here with that.
Yeah.
Or you put an old dead fish from a can on your pizza?
You want to hear oxymoron?
Are you crazy?
California Pizza Kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are wrong.
Don't put leaves or like jalapenos on. That's weird.
Don't
do
put
that.
basil. Basil's
All right,
the only
basil's
leaf.
okay, but
Yeah.
that's a small leaf.
Thanks for
Anyway.
watching. If you're watching this at work and this is your last day, middle fingers up to your boss.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know how to segue that into anything really.
Let's do it. Let's get
unless
right
I wanted
in.
to quit right here, but I'm good. We get to talk about Star Wars. We always talk about Star Wars. This isn't really news, but there is that kind of thing that happens where like weird little tidbits or sound bites of Star Wars trivia will pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Han Solo almost showed up in Episode 3. This was one of those things that Lucas is playing with the idea of. Brian, what's the story here?
So, Star Wars Episode 3, obviously Revenge of the Sith, widely regarded as the best of the prequel trilogy. You didn't know where I was going there. A lot of people say it's better than Jedi. You're way wrong. It's easily the best of those three movies, which aren't the greatest. We'll get into that another time. They made a lot of strange decisions in those films, a lot of child versions of adult actors that we really didn't need to see, such as Anakin Skywalker. Boba Fett's a big one. Han Solo remarkably got to stay away from those movies.
Yeah.
Very smart of him. It wasn't really his choice.
The prequels would have been really just like a 1-2-3 punch if they were like, Episode 1, here's Darth Vader as a baby.
Right.
Episode 2, here's Boba Fett as a baby. Episode 3, here's Han Solo as a baby. It's just you know.
Yeah, so now according to an article on Den of Geek, Han Solo was supposed to appear in an original draft for Episode 3 as a 10-year-old boy living on Kashyyyk, which is Chewbacca's, or the Wookiee planet. And he was an orphan being raised by Wookiees, and that's where he became friends with Chewbacca. They went on cool adventures. He actually has a scene with Yoda, and apparently only has one line in the entire movie. I'm looking it up right now.
A whole scene where he shows up with his one line. Do you know what the line is?
He says, I found part of a transmitter droid near the East Bay.
So this was, okay.
I think it's still sending and receiving signals.
Wow. So this is going to be like when there's that scene where Greedo makes a cameo in Episode 1 that got cut. But like, how weird would it be to be like, if Episode 1 really had a scene where Darth Vader beats up Greedo as a child, you're like, man, who did that? It's funny, I've been reading this awesome Making of Star Wars book.
Yeah.
It's by J.W. Rinsler and Peter Jackson. It's this massive, awesome book. You can get it in a physical copy, or you can get it on iOS or Android or whatever your device is.
They made one for each of the original trilogy movies, right?
Yeah, I think so. But this is basically on the first Star Wars. I've been reading it on my phone, which is great. It's got videos built into it, which is like one of those first times when it's like, here's an ebook that's actually doing cool stuff, so you get to see weird behind-the-scenes footage. But it's funny because there's a chapter on the first stages of the expanded universe. Like after A New Hope came out, they were like, okay, so this is a runaway success. How do we keep marketing it? The Marvel comics were selling really well, and basically, like, Lucas was in high demand. He wanted to take a break, go on vacation for a minute, but they were like, so can you help us flesh out your world? And there's apparently a series of interviews he did where people asked him questions about characters, and he would role play as those characters. So he sat there in a chair, and they talked to him as though he was Han Solo, and he had the following to say about Han Solo. Basically, he gave his sort of his little biography. He said Han is around 30 years old. His parents might have been killed in a space battle, with Han as the only survivor. There's no real record about where the space gypsies found him. They run through the galaxy, picking up all sorts of odds and ends. They may have won him in a game. They may have cheated someone out of him and thought they would sell him. He was kind of like a slave. That actually reminds me a lot of how they did Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
You know, like he's kind of like, sort of like buddy-buddy with this, ragtag bunch of pirates, but
Or
they're also
Anakin's
like,
mom.
hey, we own you, yeah.
Which was real dark.
Weirder, they actually do talk about the whole, apparently the slaver people abandoned him to the Wookiees when he was about 7 years old, and he lived with them for about 5 years. So like, Lucas was breaking down Han's entire biography, and this has kind of since been like paved over. But it's funny, I love that he goes from space gypsies to living on a planet of Wookiees to going to the Space Academy, and that's where he became a star pilot. And then it keeps going, and he's like, then he went to the planet of Kuni, where he used to herd large animals called pipettas, which have 15 feet. They look something like a giraffe, about 20. And Lucas keeps going about these weird animals. Their meat has an aphrodisiac quality, so they ship it all around the universe.
So he's got more of an actual backstory for these animals than he does Han Solo.
Yeah, so Han Solo herded aphrodisiac 15-footed giraffe animals for 3 years.
Yeah.
So like it's basically Han Solo's entire work history, resume, background. Really glad that didn't show up in the prequels.
Me too. There's a quote here from Ian McCaig, who's a concept artist on Star Wars. He said, "It's not in the script anymore. But we were told that Han Solo was on Kashyyyk and that he was being raised by Chewbacca. He's such a persnickety guy later on. He always has to have the best of everything. So I thought it'd be great when he was a kid if he was an absolute slob. So he's just a real dirty boy rummaging around with those tall dog bears that fly cars with him.
Real junkyard boy.
Yeah, real gross.
Well,
I'm so glad we avoided that.
Yeah. That's a real weird idea. So anyway, we're going to take a little look at what it's like to steal a Millennium Falcon in Grand Theft Auto, and when we get back, we've got our good friend Anthony here to tell us about Marvel Heroes. Let's take a look at that spaceship.
GTA Star.
Hey, what's up guys? I'm Brian Altano and this is Max Gova, and we're playing a brand new unreleased Star Wars game called Star Wars Adventures of Jakku, where you get to fly the Millennium... No, I'm just kidding. We're playing GTA 5 with a Millennium Falcon mod. How awesome is this,
We
Max?
can dream.
We can dream.
It's pretty awesome.
There's no trains in Star Wars. There are birds, though. All right, so we got missiles. How's this thing feel?
It feels like a Millennium Falcon. It's
So
pretty cool.
This is obviously modded into the PC version. You can't really do this on consoles, but this is awesome.
How do I shoot the gun?
So one
There we
thing I
go.
noticed here is that I actually have a, if I hit 9, I can put you into, oh man.
Not
Sorry.
great. Luckily, it's a very sturdy ship, as
You,
seen in such popular films as Star Wars.
And Star Wars 4, 5, 6, Star Wars 7.
Yeah, a lot of different Star Wars. Wow. Okay. Holy crap.
So I can, oh man.
All right, so
nice
we're flying
moves.
a Millennium Falcon.
What do you want to do? Can you shoot?
Yeah.
Oh, you can. You can shoot missiles.
Remember that part where Han Solo flies around and just kills all those people in Los Angeles?
Wow, this is really cool. So there's actually a bunch of other Star Wars vehicles that were modded in this game. You can play as X-Wings. There's even someone did a mod where you could replace the moon with the Death Star, which if you play this mod at night, you can actually see. But I'm just, man, that was awesome.
How do I do that? There we go.
Kind of cinematic.
Wow.
God, that's so gorgeous.
So that's pretty cool because you could kind of make your own Star Wars movies. I mean, they filmed a lot of Star Wars around. Yeah. You go into you can go to GTA Movie Maker and you can just film some wacky space adventures.
You know, from a distance when you don't see the roads and
This
the
is so cool. Sort of.
trains and the cars, this really does look like a weird Star Wars planet.
Yeah, real weird.
Look at that.
All right, there we go. Wow, this is so neat. Look at that. Wow, that looks incredible. Man, I really want to play an open world Star Wars game so badly.
All right, so what are we gonna crash into?
I don't know. You want to go downtown or something?
Yeah, let's
Punch it, Chewie. Are you punching it?
Yeah, I'm punching it. If you hit 9, you can go into like simulated hyperspeed. There's probably a way to crank this up to go even faster, but this is about as fast as we can go right now. Also, Max is piloting this thing for the very first time, and I just want to say, round of applause, Max. You're doing a great job.
Thanks.
This is controlling vehicles in GTA, especially the flying ones, isn't always the easiest thing. But this plane, or this ship, kind of works as a hybrid between a plane and a helicopter.
Yeah, I think it's just the Hydra, which is basically like it's like a Harrier jet. I
Right.
think. Wow, look at that. We're in good old downtown.
Coruscant.
Ah, yes. Let's go take out those rat bastards at the Imperial Senate.
Let's go take out that Jedi tower.
Where are these guys?
Let's go head on to this building.
Pew, 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 pew.
And here we go. Here we go. Oh!
Yeah, so I guess we're invincible.
Sweet.
We're real tough guys, because we'd also probably blow this.
Do you want to do
thing
some
up a lot.
sweet moves between these buildings here? Oh, God.
How'd I do that?
Where'd you go? Oh, you survived.
Threading the needle.
Yeah, this is what I want to see some classic Star Wars stuff here, Max. So if you can, oh man, you're just a big bouncy ball. I love it.
I like it. It's pretty cool. It's a very tough ship. It's a Corellian freighter.
This is awesome.
It's the old YT 1300.
at
Chewie,
that.
I think you crashed the car.
This is how you get out of it. You just put it upright,
How do I?
slowly tilting over. I had to take you out of hyperspeed. Nice parking job, Bucko.
Wow.
I love the way it takes off.
We're really good at this.
This is like you look like a spider on a wall right now. Hold on. I'm getting you some jet power.
I think I have shooting my
God,
machine
this
guns
is
in
so
the air.
awkward. Here we go.
Wow.
Woo!
Okay. Yeah. So this is a Millennium Falcon in GTA. What happens if we do this? Hold on. Wow.
Oh no! Hold on. Can you look up at it? Where'd it go? Oh, we left it behind.
Chewie, come back.
This would kill you in space. Man.
Where's it gonna land?
The Falcon?
Yeah, we've got to go find it.
Look at that.
Oh, it disappeared in the clouds. It's gone
man.
forever. All right. Well,
It's beautiful.
no point to living anymore.
Well, if you want to make your own Millennium Falcon in Star Wars, you can go do that right now in GTA 5 on PC with the right mods. Go look up how to find those. We're not going to exactly show you because there might be some illegal territory there.
Also, we don't know how to do it.
Be careful on the dangerous sites. Yeah, we have no idea. I'm Brian Altano. This is Max Scoville, and that was the Upper Noon Challenge. Let's land on the street. Oh!
Ew.
That is not canon. That is not Star
All
Wars.
right.
Thanks for watching.
May the Force be with you.
Oh.
And we're back. Here we are. Joining us from Gazillion Entertainment is designer Anthony Gallegos.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Now you work on a game called Marvel Heroes.
Yep.
Which is what is it about?
It's a action
It's
RPG.
very nice to meet you, by the way.
Yeah, it's very nice to meet
Hi.
you guys.
Admired your work
Shantae.
from afar for years.
It's an action RPG in the style of games like Diablo and Torchlight, and but it's it's a big, massive online game that you can play with your friends, and you get to play as your favorite Marvel characters. That's kind of the big hooks that we've had.
Right on. And you guys have been doing this for a few years, right? This
It
has been around
has.
for a minute.
We work and we started a trend of doing an annual rebrand where we launch a bunch of new features because the game was notably rough when it released and it wasn't where the team wanted it to be. And so they sort of doubled down, and for the 2015 release, got it going. And now we're doing our 2016 release.
So, show us around a little bit. Let's take a look at what you got dealing with here. You're running around. You're looking as one of the Mortal Kombat ninjas.
I'm currently playing as Deadpool in his Zenpool skin, which is a new skin that we're putting out.
So you can do some deep cut stuff here.
We do. If we look at we have, for a lot of our characters, we go to one time he was in the X-Men, and we take that costume, or one time he was portrayed as a cowboy, so we'll do that. Or there was a Lady
Wow,
Deadpool.
Yeah.
Or,
Now, are these
Pirate
costumes cosmetic, or do they have?
They're cosmetic. In some cases, like Lady Deadpool and stuff, they'll actually have full new voice work and stuff like that. It just depends on the character and what makes sense.
And now this is a free to play model.
Yep, free to play. You can officially get all the way through 2 characters in our game. Pretty much, you play for come play our game for 2 days, and you'll get 2 characters of pretty much your choice that you can play all the way through our content.
Okay.
You'll never have to pay.
Can we can we? I guess we should play as Deadpool. You're playing as Zenpool. You're really into Zenpool, huh?
I'm playing as Zenpool, yeah, just because he's one of our new skins. I'm playing in Chapter 10, which is some of our new content, which is
Oh, look at these bad dogs.
Secret Invasions. These are Skrulls. They're bad guys who come and aliens from another world. I believe the world's called Skrullos.
Oh, wow.
And they their whole goal is that they try and invade and become I guess they dress up like superheroes. That's the thing. So if I were to here, I can actually probably show you an example of that. There's
Deadpool can teleport, of course.
well, Deadpool. Okay, so that's the thing for Deadpool. We really tried. Every character we've had, Deadpool's been out since launch, but we've really tried to blow out them as we redo them, and Deadpool just got his full redo. So Deadpool's kind of a silly character. So to show that, yes, Deadpool has something like a teleport, but that's not really particularly silly. We also have a lot of new things where he can shoot a gigantic cannon. Deadpool can throw caltrops. He can shoot a big stuffed Hulk hand.
Oh yeah, look at that. He's got Hulk hands as a Green Arrow launcher.
He can shoot a dumb little dummy of himself that then turns into a bomb that guys will attack because it taunts them.
So how many different Marvel characters are in this game now?
We have over 50 characters.
That's pretty good.
I can
And they've
show
all
you.
got a bunch of different skins.
This is our roster. You know, I can see.
Yeah, who do you got? Let's take a look at this. I want to see this. You got okay. So you got Blade. You got Blade.
We got Blade. Yeah,
You
that's
got
one of the
Cable.
characters I worked at. We have Ant-Man.
You got Colossus when he's in the Brotherhood of Mutants. He's being a bad boy.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Whatever costume I have for him is what it shows currently. So let's see. Invisible Woman, Iron Man, who's in his, I believe that's his Guardians of the Galaxy's outfit.
How many Iron Man costumes do you have?
Okay. Well, if you want to see.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. I want to see all the Iron Mans.
They're called Iron Mans.
Iron Man?
So for Iron Man, we have
Good
a lot,
God.
we have a
Wow,
lot
okay.
of costumes. And these are just ones we sell. There's also ones that have been through specific events and stuff like that. You know, we also have like some really good movie quality ones, I feel like. You know, and you can even play as like the old sort of tanky looking.
Yeah.
Actual
Big
Iron
old
Man.
chubby boy.
He's obviously one of your most popular characters, right?
Correct.
Who is your most requested character right now?
Dazzler.
So some people have asked for Dazzler. Actually, one of the characters that we've had requests for a long time, you can see a little picture of him right here.
Yeah.
That's Black Bolt. He's one of the Inhumans, and
He's
so
gonna
we
be
have him coming
maybe
out.
played by Vin Diesel? No one knows.
We have him coming out as part of our advanced pack this year, which is like where we sell all the characters we're going to be releasing in a year. Which in that case we have Angela, you know, Ultron, Nick Fury, Elektra, and Green Goblin. So we do heroes and villains that we allow people to play as.
Is there like is there a story or is it like what's the?
Yeah, so there's a story. That's the thing for Secret Invasion. We have it previously. Let me bring up my log. So we've had 9 chapters before of our story, and then when you play through Secret Invasion, that's our latest chapter 10 content that we've had. Let me just do a body slide real quick back to our hub zone.
Now you did all of these drawings, right?
You draw the artwork.
I work with a lot of really talented artists, guys.
So what do you do in this game exactly?
So you can play through all of our story content, which you see here. Like I said, we're adding a 10th chapter. You can go and we also added, like a lot of our fans, what they like to do is they like to just come in and go to one of our patrol zones, which just constantly spawn enemies, and they can like basically grind loot, do a bunch of quests that pop up as they play, and just like get a ton of experience. Like there's always something to be going for, even on a character that you have.
Are you in New York right now? Where are you?
This is Hightown. This is in the land of, I believe, Madripoor.
Okay, all right, that's cool. Yeah, Madripoor's like Marvel Hong Kong kind of.
Yeah. So also one of the things, I guess I'll show it. You know, this is controller support. So as I pick this up, you'll actually see now that we have. That's one of the things we're launching. So now you can actually do things like view the store, view your character. I suppose I shouldn't just let myself get beat on. And you know, we've been working on, like, controller support's been something that people have asked for a long time.
Right.
And we've been wanting to do it for a long time, but it's just, we wanted to make sure that we did it right. So that's like, it's hard for me even to play because I'm so used to playing with a mouse and keyboard. But,
Sure.
you
What
know.
kind of loot do you have in a game where everyone's got magic powers, superpowers? Sorry, not magic. Except for Doctor Strange, who's got magic powers.
Some of them are not.
Yeah, I was gonna
Thor's
say.
magic.
I mean, some people get their powers from demons and stuff like that. So.
I like how Juggernaut was just this guy who was in the Korean War and he got lost in a cave and found a ruby.
found that suit, the Sidorak suit. So we do. None of our loot necessarily changes the way you look. Like sometimes it'll have like a visual flare, like a particle system that'll be around you. But for the most part, it's mostly about adding stats and being flavorful. So like some of Deadpool's
Luscious loafers of lasting
Leetness.
Oh, good God.
So, Magic Satchel of Unlimited Weaponry. You know, so it's like things that are very like Beta Ray Wade, because his name's Wade. So it's like, it might be something that maybe you saw once in a comic that we kind of try and flavor towards the character.
Are there any B. Arthur references for Deadpool?
I actually don't know.
Any chimichangas?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like, he's actually voiced by Nolan North, and I'm
nice.
pretty sure Nolan North of Uncharted fame says plenty about chimichangas when you
Good,
talk to
yeah.
him.
What other voice actors do you have in this? I mean, you got different characters and stuff.
We've had a lot of people. What's his name? From Walking Dead. Gosh, I'm spacing on his name.
That's his name. It's what's his name from
Come
Walking
on,
Dead.
help me out, Brian. I know he's been on your
Rick?
show.
Rick?
He's been on your show.
Oh, from the Walking Dead game?
Yes.
Dave Fennoy.
Dave Fennoy.
DaveFennoy.com. Head on over to DaveFennoy.com for all of your Dave Fennoy officiated merchandise.
Dave Fennoy, who played Blade in our game. We've had Ashley Johnson, who did Spider-Gwen.
Yeah,
cool.
she's also been on the show. She's from The Last of Us. And a bunch of other things.
Spider-Gwen's pretty new, right?
Yeah, Spider-Gwen. Yeah, I think my Spider-Man might actually be skinned as Spider-Gwen. That's the thing. So
But is she her own character or is she a Spider-Man skin?
she's a Spider-Man skin, but she's enhanced skin with all different animations
Okay.
and, you know, know, like
It's not just Spider-Man with
didn't-
boobs.
I mean, we didn't necessarily like. If you already own Spider-Man, did we want to make you have to like earn and unlock or purchase a whole new Spider-Man when they largely do like a lot of the same character like moves? Like there are some characters who are very different. Like, and every person can get a team up in our game too, which is like someone that can fight alongside you. So we just added Agent Venom.
Agent Venom, I'm gonna say this. He is the most like fan fiction ass character.
Why is that?
He is okay. So he is a combination of two of Spider-Man's bullies and the Punisher, basically. He is Flash Thompson, Spider-Man's high school bully, combined with the symbiote, which was basically his super bully, Venom, and then he's got basically Punisher's guns. So he's like, yeah, I want to be the high school quarterback football player, but I also want to be an alien with superpowers, but I also want to have guns. I want to fight in space.
He's
like
like
Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's true. He's like Punisher if Punisher could hold 6 guns at once, like he's doing right there.
Now, Anthony, do you guys notice a lot of spikes in gameplay, or at least in fans wanting specific characters leading up to, or right after, or during
Movies and
big
stuff?
movies?
Yeah,
big
of
Marvel
course.
events, I'd say.
And we try, and I say, if people want to come check out our game, you know, we try and tie stuff into that. Like when Ant-Man the movie came out, that's when we released Ant-Man.
How do you do Ant-Man in a game like this? Is he just incredibly tiny?
Well, let me show you.
Yeah.
He's actually the first character that I worked on pretty directly. So Ant-Man's whole thing is, yes, he can get very small. Like when he does moves, he actually, you know, when he does his travel power, he shrinks down and gets pretty small.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And when he punches guys, he'll get small and punch them as a little man. So he can actually be a little hard to see. But you know, one of the things about Ant-Man in the suit is he can grow too, right? So we have the ability to turn into a giant man.
Yeah.
And of course, you can see my little ant swarms out there fighting people.
Oh yeah.
And I can actually turn them into things. So like, I can do an uppercut, and then my fist ants can turn into a fist.
How do you guys?
People.
I imagine a lot of the time is spent balancing this game because everyone's got different powers and different stuff going on.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, we're very active with our community. Like right now, the build that I'm playing is available for anyone to play, and it's our test center build where we have
those big legs.
Where we have a new character. Let me see. Let me just kill these guys real quick before we have to wrap up. Black Cat, who's like a brand new character that we're releasing, and you know, she is in an unfinished state. But we allow people to play her so that people can check out all of her abilities, see what she's got going on, and decide. You know, like. People might tell us like, man, I hate the way it works that she sets up these traps and stuff like that.
So how does it work if they're playing her if they don't own her yet or whatever?
If they play in our test center, they can try it totally for free. Like our test center, not only is it one of the best ways that we get feedback, but it's actually a really great way to try out a character and basically see, like, is that someone I'm interested in? Because in the actual game, you can try out any of our 50 characters up to level 10.
Okay.
But
cool. And everyone's got sort of different play styles too, right?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
So you want to find the one that's like right for you. I assume some people will fight from a distance and some people are more close up.
Yeah, I mean, Black Cat's obviously, she's a very close and personal
She gets
fighter.
up in there.
Can you get a squad of pals together and jump in this?
Yeah, we have raids just like any other MMO, and we have like high-end content. Like I could be grouped up with someone in this zone, and we'd be working towards objectives together. So
yeah, you're just showing us off some outfits here.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, Black Cat. Everyone should go check her out. Give us feedback. You know,
where do people get this game? How do they get it? It's for. Is it just PC right now?
It's just PC. It is, and there's also a Mac client as well.
Okay, so yeah, Mac and PC.
And so you can find it on Steam, or you can go to marvelheroes.com and download it for free.
And when's the controller support available?
The plan is controller support, Black Cat, all this new Chapter 10 story content, the Deadpool rework, all that's coming tomorrow.
Wow,
awesome! There it is.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
So
quick.
just in time for the Deadpool movie, which comes out in like 3 weeks.
There we go.
Yeah.
Anthony, where else can people find you? What else do you do in the world?
You know, I do a podcast called Comedy Button. Everyone should go check that out.
What's that about?
What's it like? I've never heard of that.
It's a show about nothing. It's about jokes and horses.
It sounds familiar.
Really
kind of, if you watch this show and you thought, man, this show is kind of all right, and maybe I wouldn't mind listening to it in a car instead of being depressed. Like, you could listen to that. So
yeah,
that sounds like a bad show. I don't know why anyone would.
It's
listen.
it's actually hilarious.
It's like a nervous breakdown of an elevator pitch.
I do it with a couple of knuckleheads. You know, they're pretty funny.
Well, I hope we get to meet some of those fellows of yours someday.
Real chuckle skunks.
Thank you so much for coming by, Anthony. We don't always just do cool stuff in the studio and talk about pizzas and horses and stuff like that and old video games. We get to leave sometimes. About once a year, they let us out of the cave and we get to go play with real weapons like a fire sword, the Shishkebab from Fallout 4. Let's cut stuff up.
What's up, guys? Max and Brian here. We are at the Palace of Fine Arts in San Francisco. There's a place here called the Innovation Hangar, which is the secret hideout of Maker Media. These are the guys who do Make Magazine and Maker Faire. And basically, this is an entire magazine about making stuff.
But what do they make today, Max?
They made a Shishkebab, the flaming sword from Fallout 4, that actually works.
Let's go cut stuff up and burn it too.
I'm with Caleb, who is the senior editor for Make Magazine. This is a magazine about people who like to create things and craft stuff. This is the Shishkebab flamethrowing sword, which you made,
Correct.
and somehow you're not in jail?
That's right, that's right. It's surprisingly not illegal to make a flame-throwing sword, at least in Missouri, where I'm from.
How did you go about getting the bits and pieces here? Like, what came from where?
We just went hunting and gathering. We went to a local motorcycle shop to get the handlebar here. We pushed the fuel through here, out the end of this thing, and instead of using this little jet thing that they had in their concept art, I've added an igniter from a propane grill on the back here that I can push a button and you get a spark right here. I don't know if you can see that spark or hear it. You get a spark there.
I both see it and hear it. It's the nightmare sound.
It's like a little mini taser.
It sounds like little electrical rats.
Yep, and if I give it fuel, we get fire. There's that.
Holy sh! Oh look, the most formidable beast of all of Fallout's wastelands, the Deathclaw, of the traditional Mexican birthday variety. Let's cut it in half with fire. Holy sh!
Wow, as you can see, we made short work of that horrible Deathclaw, and our treasure is a bounty of bottle caps that smell really bad. Caleb, thank you so much for bringing your dangerous weapons on our show. Where can people learn how to make weapons like this?
Go to makezine.com to see more, or get your butt to a Maker Faire to see stuff like this in person.
That's right, fire plus swords equals awesome. Make one yourself. Carefully.
That was awesome. That was a really fun thing we got to do. That burn up piñata smelled really, really disgusting though, because it's full of old beer caps, and I think some of the beer got into the lighter fluid in the piñata, and it just smelled
That's what it was.
like a real effed up fart.
Also, those costumes, like we didn't really commit. We just kind of halfway went to Fallout costumes.
Yeah, kind of. Whatever.
So you didn't really have to explain
He
it.
committed to the sword.
Yeah,
That's what
that was
happened.
great. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to do that. It was very odd to walk into like an airplane hangar and light something on fire, cut it in half, and then just be like, "Later, guys."
That's pretty cool. You should seriously go check out their stuff, though. In addition to that, we didn't make the cut, but Caleb also made the baton that the trader guy has in Force Awakens, like that electrified baton, and I think you can actually probably kill somebody with it. You put like a cattle prod on there. He also has a thing about how to make a fire tornado if you decided that you're going to be a Balrog or something.
He made a warp pipe from Super Mario Brothers that has a piranha plant that comes out of it that spits fireballs. In
Yeah, we're going to try to do stuff with
crazy.
them again in the future.
Yeah.
Just check out youtube.com/make. Cool stuff on there. Toy Fair is coming up real soon. I am going to it for myself because I need to. Because I've always wanted to go to Toy Fair. It's basically, think E3, but it's for all toys.
Yeah.
It's apparently, it's kind of small. It's much more of like a trade show than I think like, something like E3 or, Comic-Con is, because it's much more hype around that. But as we're getting closer to it, that's happening middle of February. As we're getting closer, we're getting more and more kind of tidbits of weird toys that are coming down the pipeline.
Yep.
This popped up the other day. There's some great new Nerf weapons coming out, but I think they might be going a little bit overboard, like a little bit crazy, because the Nerf guns, I don't know if they're for children anymore. I think they're for adults like us.
Yeah.
Adults. Let's check this out. First of all, there's this one. This is called the Double Dealer. This is a rapid-fire, double-barreled machine gun that you can really just shoot somebody repeatedly. It reaches that point where it's like, why don't you just get an airsoft gun if you're going to be that abusive with your Nerf?
I have a question. The inventor of Nerf, how much does he hate his brother? Because this feels like he's been just spending 40 years developing weapons to hurt the people in his house. Because most people get Nerf guns and they just run around the house and shoot the people they know, right?
Yeah.
Or you go in the backyard and you shoot targets or something like that.
I mean, there's that whole Nerf culture of Nerf warfare.
Yeah,
but
there is the adult Nerf culture too of people like modding them and kid bashing them and stuff like
which
that.
Is clearly
really
like they clearly have caught on with that, and that's who they're
Yep.
making this stuff for. And also, the cosplay scene and everything. This is cool. This is a Nerf machine gun. We've seen that. Whatever. Here's where it gets really weird. This is called the Brain Saw, and it is a Nerf shotgun / chainsaw.
Holy crap!
Yeah, this is from their zombie line, basically. They've got a couple lines out right now. They got kind of the regular Nerf. They've got the one that's basically Mad Max themed, and they've got one that's sort of Zombie Hunter themed. And they've got, I kind of hate these because they all have this. If you look at the handle, it's got this molded fake tape on there.
Yep.
And that's like, I'd rather just add my own tape. Just give me like the
That's awesome.
chainsaw guts.
This is
That said, this is cool as hell.
This is very Gears of War. But this isn't the only weird toy that's still alive and kicking. Mad Balls. If you remember those as a kid, they're back.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't remember these as kids because they're hideous, and you try to repress information like this. Is that the moon from Majora's Mask?
Yeah, I think it is.
Mad Balls were sort of like, as a kid, everyone had bouncy balls and baseballs and softballs. You threw them against the wall. Mad Balls were a toy designer deciding to make hideous versions of sports stuff so that kids like Max and I, who weren't really big into sports, could still buy a ball at a store.
Is that really what it was? I think
so.
I think it was seriously, there was this point in time where...
Well, they started out as baseballs, right?
Sure. Well, I guess they're like, what's a ball that's recognizable?
Yeah.
I guess that. But yeah, like I don't understand the logic behind this. I totally hated this kind of toy as a kid because I'm like, I want something with a story. I want action figures. But as an adult, I'm like, that's a gross ball. I want to throw that. And luckily, the company called Mondo Tees, who do like weird collectibles and stuff, they are bringing them back. And we're getting these incredibly detailed, super gross-looking, updated Mad Balls. I think they're still called Mad Balls. And they're going to be doing some licensed ones too. So in the most 80s thing ever, here's a Venom Ball.
That's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
I really love that.
Yeah, I think they're also going to be doing a Friday the 13th one, but I am dying to check this stuff out at Toy Fair because I think this is a good year for toys.
I'm actually totally down to see an entire line of like grotesque characters, even if they just aren't grotesque. I've seen like modded amiibo that this guy has taken a whole bunch of amiibo and turned them into zombie characters where like Mario's eyeballs falling out. This could be really cool. I want to see I want this to be the next Funko Pop, basically.
Yeah, that's a good call. Like I dig this because it is a little bit gross and weird.
Yeah.
Like if they do the kind of Garbage Pail Kids approach or like the Pog approach where they're like, yeah, we're gonna go overboard. This guy's bleeding out the eyes. This guy's got messed up teeth. That Funko Pop cutesy stuff, I'm kind of done with that.
Max, speaking of cutesy stuff, we got something very weird and very cutesy this week that I think we still can file under interesting. Detective Pikachu is a game that's coming out.
Yeah, how's that happening exactly?
So how did this come together? What is
this? Came out of the blue in the way that Nintendo announcements frequently do come about. This is going to be an eShop game. This is coming out, I think, next month on the 3DS eShop. It's a game where Pikachu's a detective. If we got do we have some footage here? If we could roll in, it's the Pikachu's being a man. Weirdest part though is Pikachu now speaks. They got this really well shot. I kind of want this to be a movie. Like I would watch this movie.
Nintendo dropped 2 back-to-back Pokemon commercials that are both totally gorgeous. And,
Yeah.
This is the darker of the two, I'd say.
Oh, this is very dark.
Look at his little hand.
Yeah, this looks like True Detective. That was a dumb joke, but I like it. This is man, this is cool. And what's great is like frequently Pokemon games, they'll have these really gorgeous trailers. Then you see the game in action, and you're like, all right, it looks cute. It's very simple. In this case, the gameplay, I think they're going to show it in a second. It actually looks like it looks kind of visually intensive, you know? Like you got that Pikachu actually, but he's talking. Like we don't know what he's going to sound like in English.
Yeah.
But how do you
I think he's going for like a Ben Affleck Batman type of thing, where he's going to be real deep voice.
I don't think he's going to do that.
Really? Maybe
I think he's going to sound. I think he's going to sound like an old man. Like look at this. This game looks like it's got camera angles.
It's gorgeous. There was a scene where
He's
the
running
boy
away
is
from a
holding him
tree.
and he's crying, which is not very professional for a detective to just break down on a case like that.
I like this a lot. So I think that part right there where he's talking to other Pikachu, regular Pikachu, I think this is basically going to be like in the same way that in the Pokemon TV show you've got Meowth, but he talks, but there's a bunch of other Meowths that are just regular cats, or like how Scooby-Doo is a dog who talks, but actually I don't know how that dogs work in that universe. But in Pokemon, I think there's one really genius Pokemon that learns English. That's going to be this Pikachu, and he's going to be like other Pikachu's uncle or something. Yeah.
There it is, the lore.
Yeah.
We got a tweet from Mark Snodden. He says, first time watching, and the show is awesome. Big friend from Belfast, Northern Ireland here.
Hey, how's it going?
Beyond. Thank you for watching. We have fans all over the world. That's like the coolest part of this job is that we get to interact with people in places that I didn't even know really existed. I mean, I knew Belfast existed because I've seen Sons of Anarchy. But other than that, I hope things are okay over there because that show makes your territory look very dangerous. Razal Azgul on Twitter, that's Azard3, says, can we get Brian or Max to wear the Thor helmet? It's just sitting there. Might as well put it on.
Yeah, this won't mess up your hair as much.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, man, this is very painful. Speaking of Detective Pikachu, head on over to IGN Snapchat in the next few days. We're putting up a cool little video we shot there. You should follow IGN on Snapchat anyway, because we do awesome stuff there. Max puts up his drawings and all kinds of stuff. But Max, it's been over 5 minutes since we talked about toys. Bring that beat back!
Yo, so here's a video that showed up online in just the best way the internet could possibly work. Here's a video from 1994, New York Toy Fair. Vin Diesel apparently found work selling street sharks. This is too good to be true. Let's take a look.
What are we looking at here? We're looking at Boomer. This is Boomer. He's got the biggest mouth of them all. He's the whale shark. Say hello to that round mound of pound and his power slam. Very deadly. Oh. He loves to tenderize the competition before he eats them. Then we've got Sledge the Hammerhead. Sledge the Hammerhead loves to floor the competition with the flying headbutt. You got me? He's the leader of the street sharks. He's a great warrior. He's got the feel real shark skin, and his special power is the right hand roundhouse punch. He sends the competition to a watery grave. Boom! Death. I want to show you something up close and personal. I've got something here with such fantastic detail it's going to blow you away. Head shark! Good shush! Rocky Balboa action.
Yeah, that goes up there right with that video of George W. Bush drunk as far as stuff that I would be cool watching on repeat forever.
Yeah, you know, in the 90s it was illegal to shoot something without tilting like crazy like that. I think everything was filmed on a boat.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mark Sinclair, who is Vin Diesel in real life. That's his real name.
Mark Sinclair?
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no baby is born Vin Diesel. Like you have to come out holding weights.
I don't know. My name's Max Scoville. Actually,
No,
it's
it's
not.
not.
Yeah, it's true. What's your real name?
Mark Sinclair.
All right.
Street sharks were great though.
How long before we got to like Vin Diesel playing a shark in a movie because of that? Like, I feel like the odds of him showing up as a shark character in the third Ninja Turtles movie or something.
Was that not a thing that happened? I feel like he was in like Shark Tale or something like that.
Oh, you might be right. He sounds like a shark. Like he sounds like he has a much larger mouth than he does.
Yeah, that seems like something he would have done. I guess
you just searched Vin Diesel shark and it just came up with like lots of photos of him with puppets.
Actually, the Vin Diesel shark Google image search is my Google homepage.
Yeah.
I have to look at that every single day to see if there's any updates.
Okay, so
oh man, that's terrifying. I don't
on
even
the
wanna pull that
subject
up.
of weird old toys, this showed up. These are some really awesome Virtua Fighter toys based on the original Virtua Fighter. These are like available for pre-order now. They're in Japan, so they're going to cost like $40 a pop or whatever. Yep. If you think there's something wrong with your eyesight, there isn't. These are based on old computer graphics when the graphics weren't that good, and there were a lot of polygons, and it was ugly. And I really like it.
I do too, and I think we're just far enough removed from rudimentary graphics like this to look back at them sort of like, man, those were great.
Yeah.
Like we did the same thing with, if you look at indie games in the last 10 or 15 years, there've been so many like 8-bit and 16 and even 32-bit games.
Yeah, and we saw some toys based on that stuff.
Totally, yeah, tons of sprite art, and even like Nintendo made that Mario amiibo that's a sprite art. But we haven't seen a lot of this because I think a lot of people looked at this era of games as ugly.
Yeah.
And that's not true. I think this is very gorgeous. Some of the best art comes from limitations, and as you can see here, these guys are really cool looking character designs.
Yeah, and we've seen this in a couple other places. There was this, oh, good God.
That mustache.
There was this Nendroid Solid Snake figure with these just super cute little line of little baby snakes.
Are these the same figure
dudes.
but with different heads?
Yeah, he comes with a swappable head, so you can put this this original PS1 looking snake head on there, which actually looks incredibly upsetting. Because if it was like, I would be all over a full body like old school PlayStation 1. Like if they took that character model and turned it into an action figure, I'd be so excited by that. But seeing this mask on that head just looks like something, like you got too many cheat codes on. Like this looks like an old Midway game for like N64, where you got like baby mode and big head mode and low poly mode on all at once. Here's another one that showed up. This isn't really doing that, but it would make a great action figure based on low poly stuff. They did this 10th anniversary Claude figure for GTA 3, which I think was like super rare, hard to find. But man, how cool would it be if they had like imagine the really kind of the low, like you could just 3D print that at this point, you know?
Yep. And that actually, so I've actually seen people have 3D printed their own version of their head, like as gone through big head mode in GoldenEye, which is basically like either 3D printed or you can do it with papercraft as well. This would be awesome. Like there's so many cool low poly models from back then.
Yeah, one that's a total no-brainer is obviously original Lara Croft, which I kind of feel like they wouldn't do just on the basis that she's not aged well at all. It was kind of hard to find this one screenshot because so many of those are like, they had those like pre-rendered versions that showed up on box art and stuff. And where would we be? Of course, you mentioned it. Good old GoldenEye. That looks just like Pierce Brosnan.
Actually,
that's actually a recent photo of Pierce Brosnan. I don't know if you realize that.
The likenesses were kind of amazing in this game. What my favorite thing about this game is obviously the hands. Like if you look at those big bricks that they're all carrying around. When they're holding a gun too, it's just like, I'm holding a gun!
That looks like a frozen newspaper or something, like an old dog bone. That's real gross.
But yeah, this was really cool. There's obviously tons of stuff on the N64 that I really like. Banjo-Kazooie, Mario 64. Even Conquer would be really cool.
What's interesting about those though is like with stuff that was really designed to look good in that style, I feel like if you made a very accurate like Crash Bandicoot or Mario 64 based on that original artwork, it wouldn't look so much like a faithful adaptation of the original graphics.
Sure.
It would just look like a poorly made toy.
Yeah.
Because like those designs age really well. If you look at like Mario 64, his nose is like, it's not a circle. They want it to be a circle, but it's as close as they could get with as limited like polygons or whatever. So it would just look like if somebody had 3D printed one and had left some extra plastic on there, pretty much.
Okay, so I got a better one then. Star Fox with little play sets. Star Fox 64, and you have Andros with his big, mechanical face, and all polygons, and just have little ships.
That'd be kind of cool.
And little slippies, just ruining your day. I hate that dude.
Hey Brian, can you put on that Thor helmet again for a second?
Sure.
Hey Brian, that's a cool hat, and it reminds me of a news story that I think we should talk about. Thor Ragnarok, which is of course Thor 3. That's coming out, I don't know, 2023, 2017. It's coming out
2023.
2017. I think it's coming out in a few years. I'm really excited about this.
Yeah.
I don't think I keep kind of like not caring about Thor movies. Like Thor as a character is one I never been into.
Yeah.
But
why didn't you read the comics as a kid?
I don't like Marvel Universe when it goes too far into fantasy or too far into space, and Thor did both of those.
See, I loved Marvel when it went into space, but I didn't like it when it went into fantasy. Like I loved Silver Surfer and Thanos and stuff like that, but I didn't like, like doth thou haveth thy sword? Like that was just too much for me.
I like Thor kind of after the fact as sort of like a goofy, ironic character, and I really like that the movie I think it nailed that. Like what I always like about Marvel is that it is grounded in real life. Like I like Spider-Man because he's he's a teenager. He gets it. He goes to school and then he fights crime, which is sort of like half of the things that I did as a kid. Mostly I was committing little lame crimes. But Thor is like this dude who shows up and he's like I love the diner scene in the first Thor movie where he's like, "What drink is this? Bring me more!" And he like smashes the coffee cup. There's a deleted scene where he goes back to the diner and apologizes to the owner and gives her a coffee cup, and she's like, "That drink you had, coffee, it was quite good. I apologize for breaking your flagon," or whatever.
So I actually really like that, and I'm a little bummed that they fast-tracked his sort of character evolution so quickly, because I really love that goofy fish out of water.
So that's the thing, is that Thor 2 Dark World got pretty dark and serious, and I think they were introducing a bunch of weird medieval stuff. Thor 3 Ragnarok, I think, is going to be going really hard into that weird, silly stuff. It's going to be directed by Taika Waititi? I don't know if I'm saying that name right. I might be messing it up real bad. This is a director of What We Do in the Shadows, which is a hilarious vampire comedy. Came out of New Zealand, and he's been talking a little bit about what that movie is going to entail. And there's some rumors floating around that it might be kind of a buddy comedy between Thor and Hulk, which sounds like the best movie.
That sounds awesome.
Like they might be in outer space on like a road trip together, getting in wacky misadventures.
Oh, wait a minute. No, that's terrifying. If Thor and Hulk are in a spaceship together and Hulk gets angry and bursts it open, they'll both be in space and they'll explode.
I don't think they're going to be in a car. I think they're going to be like teleporting, or Hulk's going to be jumping.
Jumping through space?
He probably can jump through space.
He can do that?
He can do that. He's Hulk. He can do anything he wants.
Because I like the idea of getting Hulk really angry in small environments like an elevator or a car. And just
he breaks the car or breaks the elevator.
Yep. I also want to see a movie where there's a man stuck inside a transformer as it transforms.
Okay.
Because I'm a sick dude.
They did that in one of the recent cartoons, and there was a kid inside, there was a child inside, and then he threw up inside the car while it was in the shape of a man.
But yeah,
He's
this
like-
movie sounds awesome. I'm
Yeah.
totally down for this. I think we need more weird intergalactic buddy cop movies.
Yeah. On the subject of movies that I really want to see real bad, one of the hot breakaway hits among people who have the brains of 13-year-olds is Swiss Army Man, which is a movie that stars Daniel Radcliffe, who plays a corpse that washes ashore and makes a friend, but also farts a lot and has a boner.
What?
Yeah, that's a sentence. I don't even know if we're allowed to say boner on this show, but that's a thing that happens in this movie, so I'm just going to say it.
You can say boner on the show.
Daniel Radcliffe plays a farting corpse with an erection, and it's like a buddy film about friendship.
Yo, can I ask you a question, man? What happened to that dude after Harry Potter? I haven't seen any of those Harry Potter movies, but he seemed pretty grounded in those things. And then he went and did that stage play about marrying a horse.
Yeah.
And now he's doing things about being a fart and dead dude. What's going on with that dude's life? What's going on over there,
He's
Mr.
an
Potter?
He's a serious actor. So what I love about happened to the Harry Potter
Get
kids
together, Donnie Radcliffe. Come
is,
on, man.
Like Daniel Radcliffe went to be in the farting boner corpse movie.
What's a
and,
real
and
sentence?
the horse marriage movie. Rupert Grint, who was Ron Weasley, apparently with his money from the second he turned 18, he went out and bought an ice cream truck. Because he's
Okay.
like, my parents aren't telling me how to spend my money anymore. I'm buying an ice cream truck, and he just would drive around and give people ice cream, which is a pretty cool. It's a pretty Ron Weasley kind of thing to do.
Okay.
And then Hermione Granger, Emma Watson, is now like a representative for her entire gender with the UN, which
That's
is
right.
kind of badass. And I like that those kids are off doing their own thing.
I have an idea for a movie. I want to take the last two Danny Radcliffe projects. I'm sorry, I keep calling you Danny like we're friends and neighbors. And I want to make Horse Corpse.
That's
The
awful.
story of a dead horse that comes back to life to fart.
Where they keep beating it, it's farting, and they're like, this joke is never going to get old, and they beat it. It's like, poot.
So it just comes out of a barn and like, is that dead horse?
What if the horse's fart is voiced by Vin Diesel?
Yeah, totally.
And a-
Like Groot, it just says I am Poot.
Poot. All right, that's a gross joke. But no, we make a gross joke here, but these guys actually took that gross joke and made a movie about it. So
Yep.
Swiss Army Man, put that on your radar. There's no trailer yet, but when it shows up, it's probably going to have Daniel Radcliffe as a farting corpse. So keep it locked, everybody.
Shite Keith says, I said shite instead of the real thing. You know what I'm talking about. Says, Up and Noon Live is the best thing since peach juice boxes. Keep up the good work, guys. I don't usually read compliments because I think it's kind of stupid to retweet people talking about good stuff about you. But I have a question. What is so great about peach juice boxes?
I mean, it's peach juice in a box.
Do you have peach juice? I don't think I've even had peach juice
I think
before.
I've probably had it. I don't think it's kind of an odd thing to have in a box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you. Thank you for the kind
That's
words.
a very nice thing to say.
Yeah.
So, Brian, have you ever seen Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah, here and there.
You seen that anime show?
Yeah,
It's one of my favorite things ever. You not into it? Not into anime
really.
so much? What about figure skating?
Not big on figure skating.
Now, what if we combine these two into the greatest video you will ever see, which is this Canadian figure skater skating in Spike Spiegel cosplay to Tank, the Cowboy Bebop intro theme. Let's watch this video. Show the video. Do it now.
Please welcome the next competitor, representing British Columbia, Yukon.
Veuillez accueillir le prochain concurrent, représentant la Colombie-Britannique et le Yukon.
Kevin Reynolds.
Yeah, can we stop it? Yeah.
Can we stop showing this video? What is it?
He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
He's gonna do what? This
He's
is
gonna
a
do
terrible
it. He's
video.
gonna do it. Look at this.
I don't know what this
He's
is.
gonna do it. It's a
I don't
combination of
understand
the
this.
best things: is anime and figure skating.
No, these are two of the worst things on earth.
Put up. Look at
This
this.
is terrible.
This
This
great.
is like being trapped at a party where somebody holds up their phone and watch this video. Except
Really?
we have to do it to a bunch of people.
Isn't that our entire show?
No, this is bad. What is this?
It's a combination of anime and figure skating.
Wow, Canada, get it together.
I think this is pretty great. I respect this mixture of figure skating and popular culture.
All
I would
these
like to
logos
see-
are fake too. What is TSN? Is that their fake ass Canadian ESPN? This is what they want. Is this sports in Canada?
I like that this is made with an unregistered
Foundation Bonaparte. What is this?
Bandicam.
Panty tag.
All right. If I ever want to get Brian Altano riled up, make him look at anything related to anime. It always
This is
backfires.
not. This is not anime. This is
It's
dude
related to
figure
anime.
skating.
He's dressed as an anime character, figure skating to an anime theme
You know,
song.
you want to know how people are? I mean, first of all, he fell. Second of all, there's nobody in the crowd over there because this is boring. Nobody even wants to see this live. Why would they watch this on YouTube?
They don't.
What is he doing?
He's doing ice
This
dancing.
is terrible.
Hey, look at him go. He's spinning real fast.
This is worse than Avatar. This is probably
That's
one of
not
the worst
worse than
videos I've ever
Avatar.
seen.
It's pretty weird.
Why don't you show me a cool video like that monkey that sniffs his own toots and falls out of a tree or something?
You've
like
seen that video enough times.
It's 30 seconds long, and it begins with a monkey and ends with the monkey falling out of a tree.
You've seen that video enough times.
That's a perfect
All right,
short
we
film.
can stop watching this.
It won at cons 40 years in a row.
Oh, stop it.
This is
okay,
terrible.
all right, that's enough
do you
of
like
that.
to ice skating? Thanks,
I don't know.
Dad.
I want to see more cosplay ice skating. I think
Why
it's
don't
a
you
great
send me
thing.
some spam letters, too? Oh,
I
if
can
you
do
don't
that.
respond to this chain
I got a
letter.
great one. It's a sidewalk art that looks 3D. You're gonna love it.
You're never
You're gonna
allowed
see
to
a
show
great
video
one.
on
It's
this show
it's
again.
pictures of people who did crazy sandcastles.
Awful.
Wait till you see it.
What a bad video that was.
I think it was a good video.
What a terrible movie.
So we got to look at what Star Wars Land is gonna look like.
Finally, get us out of here.
Yeah, sorry. So check this out. We got this over here. This is what's going to be. Stop doing that. Stop. Okay. Here we go. So I don't know how Disneyland works. I've never done this before. You get Mickey's Toontown over here. And then you go over here, and there's the Star Wars expansion.
Yeah.
This is where Tomorrowland used to be.
Those are the colors they're using, by the way. That's all snow and sand they're covering with the entire thing. It's just Hoth and Tatooine.
So this is, I mean, like, I've never actually been to a Disney theme park.
Phantasmic storage. Is that like a cool closet?
Yeah, I guess that's where you put your like shirts. Or
Oh, like when you win those oversized, like if I win like a giant Jabba the Hutt
Yeah, your
plushie.
large Stitch or whatever.
I always see those people at theme parks who they knock down, they win the clown in the mouth water gun thing, and they get this like bear that's like 12, it's the size of a car, and they just carry it on rides all day.
So I like they
Sick
got
Man.
Battle Escape, and they got the village meet and greets and dining and gift shops. I want to go here.
Yeah.
I want to go here and I want to check it out. That's huge too.
I wonder what they were doing with those bathrooms. They're gonna make them look like Jabba's palace.
You know, in the Star Wars universe, they call bathrooms freshers, like a refresher. That's
Really?
what
Have
call
they
it.
ever shown a bathroom in the Star Wars
Nope,
universe?
never shown it. Not even in the video games where you can go into any of the
What about
rooms.
the Millennium Falcon? Can you take a dump on that
Yeah,
shit?
you can totally take a dump on the Millennium Falcon.
I'm
You
sure.
can- I hope that they have a bathroom on the Millennium Falcon attraction that they're gonna have at Disneyland.
I'm sure Chewie dropped some big bombs on there.
I bet I bet they have to suck it out the airlock because
You ever seen bear poop in the woods?
Yeah.
Same thing.
You ever seen that bears that they put that thing in their butt before they hibernate and they come out as a bear plug?
George Moore 91 on Twitter says, just got in, drunk, don't know what the F y'all talking about.
Yeah, that happens.
I'm with you, man.
All right,
We
so
don't know
we got a real hot joint right here. The worst things are coming out. They keep making bad stuff, you know, like they keep doing. They're like, let's like remake RoboCop and make it PG-13, and people are like, it wasn't that bad. I'm like, yeah, but why was it at all? Period.
Hey, remember Point Break? Remember that afternoon that was in theaters? Remember
Yeah.
that hour and a half?
Why was that a thing? Well, here's a really great one. This is putting two just terrible ideas against each other. I want you to tell me which is worse and explain why. A Labyrinth remake in 2016 after both David Bowie and Jim Henson are dead, or a Die Hard prequel that explores the life of a teenage John McClane before he fought terrorists or had a drinking problem.
Is this the hypothetical you're giving me?
Well, these are both things that people are talking about because nothing is sacred.
Well, this
so
is kind
which
of
is
like
worse?
when you ask somebody would they rather burn to death or freeze to death. So here's my explanation for this. I actually think that the Die Hard prequel is worse. And Labyrinth is sacred cow to me. I love that movie growing up. Jennifer Connelly looked gorgeous in it. I was a kid at the time, so I can say that. If I said that now, I'd be a weird dude. You could pull me off the screen and beat the hell out of me in a jail cell. But the Die Hard prequel is so bad because it is retroactively ruining something that I enjoy, which is the original Die Hard trilogy. Some people say there are more movies after those three. That's not true. They're liars. They never made those. They came with free coasters every time you buy the box set. Throw them right in the trash. But Die Hard is such a great movie. I didn't need to know what John McClane was like as a cop in high school or anything like that, or first starting off on the force when he's not hungover, he hasn't even had his first drink. Labyrinth, it's a remake. I'm okay with it. I will never watch it. It's just like the Point Break remake. I will never watch it. There's the original version. It's perfect for me. I don't need it. Remakes, I think you can kind of push aside and keep going with the original like nothing ever changed. But Die Hard forever now, they're going to be like, well, remember that scene in the first movie? It's ruined now because you can see him do it like this.
I guess you could say you're a Die Hard fan.
Yeah, I am a Die Hard fan.
No, I'm kind of with you on that. I think I don't think a prequel can ever fully ruin the thing that it's preceding. You know,
Star
I think
Wars couldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't
Much as they tried
unless
3
you
times.
change the original source material, which is pretty bad on its own. But I think that a Die Hard prequel is just an answer to a question that no one really asked.
Yes.
You know, they should do the thing they did with Die Hard 3, but in reverse. Die Hard 3 famously was adapted from a script for an entirely different movie that didn't involve John McClane. So they went in, they were like, yeah, but what if this was about the guy from Die Hard? And they were like, what do you know? It's Die Hard 3. They should write the script for teenage John McClane, and then they should change his name and make it a new movie about some teen cop. That's a cool idea.
Well, that's an
Meanwhile-
awesome thing they did in the 80s and 90s.
Sure.
They had original ideas for action movies.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you'd be walking through the video store and it'd be like, Double Pump. And you're like, what's that? Starring Steven Seagal and his dad. And you're like, why did they make that movie? And you'd watch it and you'd be like, that was terrible.
You know, what'd be
I
a
had
better
a great
movie?
time.
It's a movie where Bruce Willis plays a high schooler.
Yeah.
That's a good movie right there. Or
Like-
John McClane has
like
to
Looper?
go back to high school. It's like 21 Jump Street, but like he's a 60-year-old man.
Oh, I hate geometry. Oh, I'm hungover.
You guys sick of this class too? And they're like, why are you here?
Yeah,
You're wearing a badge around your neck. You look like a. He's like, I haven't been drinking since this morning. You know.
Make
I think
a
it'd be a great idea.
make a new idea.
Meanwhile, like Labyrinth.
Make one new idea. Just
like
do that.
Labyrinth, don't like the idea of it being remade shot for shot or doing like taking all the music and like redoing it,
Yep.
like giving it to Tim Burton or something. But it'd be kind of cool if they took the name Labyrinth and they were like, all right, you tell a story using weird special effects and magic and songs, but give it to some crazy director with like awesome art direction and just like totally mess it up.
Which is awesome. But the problem is, like, you know, the Jim Henson Creature Workshops changed a little bit. My biggest issue with this news story was that it was announced 4 days after David Bowie passed away. 4 days.
Yeah.
Which is like, there's no right time to announce something like this, but it really felt like, is he gone? Here's a terrible idea.
That's a really wrong
screw
time to announce that.
That's such, I hate that.
That's pretty gross.
Get one new idea. Just one. Just maybe do one new idea.
We got any hot tweets from the local teens down at our internet mall?
Kyle or Keel Chenier, that's his real name, says, as a Canadian and a total weeb, I'm with Max about the Cowboy Bebop figure skating. Hashtag up at noon. Hashtag Team Max. Jake Bajin says, first time actually catching the show live as I'm always at work. I think we should cut down ice prancing Bebop with a Shishkebab. Yes! He called him Bebop, the ice prancer. I love that.
Bebop.
And sorry, Jake, about losing your job or whatever you had to do to catch the show today. It's a very inconvenient time for people.
I know a lot of people do quit their jobs specifically to watch this fine show.
Yeah.
It's also really weird because I had that styrofoam skull I was playing with, and it's just lying below the camera. Like there's a monster in here with us, and it's just been eating our coworkers. We're like, oh no, where'd that skull come from?
Yeah, I gotta say, this is very unsettling.
Yeah, this is a thing. I don't know what this is from or for. This is formerly animatronic ape.
Don't ever do that with your hands.
Hey, terrifying Captain America ape, what do you want to go get lunch with us? It's supposed to be like battery operated, but
Okay, let's feed him some pizza.
yeah.
This
This is awful. This is really upsetting. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you to the Comedy Button fan that made us his pizza that we could shove it in this monkey's mouth and have him eat it real good.
Yeah, what are you gonna do with that? It's really awful. It's got that fake
Very
like wig
unsettling.
hair. It's just you feel dirty after touching it.
Anyway, all you have to do is not move and you'll still be entertained by the glowing screen in front of you, because up next, Ryan McCaffrey, James Duggan, and John Ryan will be checking out the Division beta. Stay tuned for that. They'll probably have some codes for you.
Yeah,
That might be a lot.
That's happening this weekend if you're lucky enough. I
Yep.
don't know. Stay tuned to all of the Ubisoft servers and things.
You
I
gonna
think
play that this weekend?
if you pre-ordered the game, you got a code for that.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get on there. We both got codes,
Me
I
too.
think. I see there's a dog that goes poop in that game, so I want to try to find that dog and see if I can blow it up.
8 points for blowing up the Dunkin' Dog.
Yeah. Thanks
Thanks
for watching, guys.
Up at Noon.
We'll see you next week.
See you soon.